Hey everyone, Micah here for Renegades React. I just want to take a minute and talk to you guys and give you a heads up that we are actually running a Patreon now, if you didn't know. And I would encourage you to check that out. Actually currently offering early access to all of our videos, more features to come. And if you would, it would totally help us out and help us to keep doing this for hopefully a very long time. And really we can't do it without you guys. So,
Micah, what are you doing in my house?
oh God,
Damn ninjas.
Netflix presents Daredevil. Liked it a lot. Daredevil Season 2. Liked it as well. Thought the first half of it was really good. Second half, kind of lost me on some of the stuff. Jessica Jones, I liked it as well.
I liked it pretty well. I love David Tennant. It was kind of hard for me to get behind Jessica Jones.
Well, that's the point of her. She's a lost soul.
Right.
That's her thing. She's been stomped on so many times. She's kind of lost hope in herself and lost hope in humanity.
Right.
And that's why she drinks so much.
Drinks a lot.
Well, of course. Well, you look at what happened to her. You mean she loses her family.
Oh, yeah.
She gets superpowers that she doesn't know where the hell they came from. She's put in an abusive household.
Oh, no, I mean, the motivations all make sense. I don't know. I had trouble getting into it.
Well, I don't
know. I don't know if it was the character. I don't know if it was, I don't know the actress. I don't know if she, carried it as well. I don't know.
Well, Kristen Ritter? I mean, I thought she did good.
I don't know. I just, for some reason, I didn't like it as much.
Okay.
As Daredevil.
Okay, did you see Luke Cage?
I saw a few episodes.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't really get into it.
Oh, come on, man. I love Luke Cage.
Never finished it.
Luke Cage. Okay, I'll say this. Daredevil, Season 1 and the first half of Season 2 are my favorites. Luke Cage is number 2. I actually like Luke Cage better than I like Jessica Jones. And Jessica Jones is third. And, of course, Iron Fist, which, reviewers tore it to pieces. But a lot of the criticism that surrounded it and a lot of the controversy that surrounded it, I didn't understand it. Because Danny Rand in the comic books is... It's the fish out of water story. That's the point of it.
I really wanted to like it. The fish out of water thing didn't bother me. It's just he was so whiny.
No. I get that.
Yeah.
I get, and truth is, that's really a problem for the showrunners because they rushed it so hard. Yeah,
and then it was kind of hard to get into the story because the whole hand heroin plot line didn't really it didn't have any impact.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, but also discovering Madame Gao's
I mean, I was glad to see her come back, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was definitely interesting.
Also Jessica Henwick as Colleen Wing. I love Colleen Wing. She's I mean, honestly, she's kind of like a lost soul herself. It's just she's a little more. To me, she has more redeeming qualities than Jessica Jones. She's got a lot more redeeming qualities, and plus, her feelings for Danny Rand, it's quite evident, and all that.
No, she was pretty cool. I definitely like Colleen. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't have a lot of impact for me.
No,
I mean, I
get that.
The hand seemed more dangerous in Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
and the threat than in that. Which I feel like, like the Iron Fist being the sworn enemy of the hand would I don't know, you'd feel more threatened by it.
Of course. So, I'll say this. Choreography in Iron Fist got better as the show went along. In the beginning, it was so easy to see that it was ham-fisted. Yeah. No pun intended with that.
Well, what disappointed me is the hand only seemed dangerous if you tried to interrupt what they were doing, but what they were doing is basically making heroin the safest recreational drug ever invented.
Which for you, you're pro legalizing pretty much everything.
Well, I'm just saying if it's they invented a new form of heroin that you don't have to use a needle because the majority of heroin deaths come from contaminated needles. So it's like a stick-on tattoo. And it's so potent that like every time is like your first high, so there's no risk of overdose because you can't build up an immunity to it where you need more and more to get the same high.
Well, there you go.
And then they also invent a cure on the back end to control the market. So not only is there virtually no risk of overdose, no risk of like, dirty needles like giving you some crazy disease.
There's also
And then you can cure yourself of it if you do happen to get addicted, which is, probably never going to happen. So they virtually eliminated everything dangerous about heroin.
well, it's drugs and all. You got to demonize. You got to demonize
Right,
drugs
but
to
it's
the
like
nth
they
degree.
they made it like as safe as like marijuana.
Exactly.
So it's
I
like
get that.
And it's like the only time it seemed like anybody messed with them is if like they tried to stop their drug efforts. And so I don't know. That to me, I was like, why the whole plot for the show doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, to me, it shouldn't have been about heroin. It should have been about something more tenacious. It should have been about something more personal to the Iron Fist. Like for instance, there was, spoilers. There was more than one monk from Cullins in the city, and truth is, I think what they should have done is tied more back into Cullins because I wanted to learn more about Cullins.
Right.
And having his friends show up was one thing, but having someone else, having like other people there, and having the hand, take them, and making it a personal thing for Danny, because he's fighting between the two worlds.
Right.
He's fighting between himself as Danny Rand, head of Rand Enterprises, and he's fighting as his identity as the Iron Fist. And I think if you show the tug of war between those two personalities more, you get better character development. That's what I wish they would have done, but instead they just went. It's like, oh, drug subplot.
Now I thought the supporting characters were great. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I thought David Wenham was fantastic.
Oh,
I'd
say other than Wilson Fisk and Kilgrave,
Yeah.
arguably the best villain.
Yeah, I really got behind him, like
Mm-hmm.
sort of as because at first he seemed like a pawn, but then you saw he had a lot more going on. And
Of course, yeah. And then of course, you see the effects of what happened with him and his character.
Right.
The reason for his character being the way he was, and also okay, the subplot with his kids. Okay, the daughter, they just kind of forgot about her for a good portion of it.
They did, and she was kind of the driving force from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was clunky, very clunky how
Yeah.
they handled her, and also the son as well. I think it's good, to show off the storyline they pulled off with him. Him becoming addicted to the stuff, and maybe himself getting over it. Maybe that would show the power of his will, and also Danny could have helped him with that. But no, Danny had to take out the source of the hand. Kill the drugs, kids. Yeah. It was just a whole rigmarole of nonsense. And we now move on to the Defenders. Yeah, we are currently, 8 minutes into this video. So,
Oops.
oh yeah, video starts at no. Thank you, Caleb, by the way. Let's get the video on screen, and let's see what Marvel's Defenders has to offer for us. Nirvana, come as you are. I love it.
You stole evidence from my crime scene.
That's Misty Knight that's talking. I know that
And you
voice.
got my one lead.
Yes! Misty
I
Knight's
was
back.
trying to help him, but you didn't.
Jessica Jones, stop talking.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Matthew Murdoch. I'm your attorney.
Yep. Hey, Luke, back in
Allow
town.
you to live an actual life.
Right now, I just want to help people.
I think there's someone that you need to meet.
Hey, what are you doing in there? Who are you? Who are you?
How come you can't be hurt?
What's the deal with that fist?
I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
You what?
You're on the same side.
What I'd say too.
You four.
You're what?
The devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yep.
The smart-ass detective.
We got a problem?
That's an understatement.
The righteous ex-con.
My bad.
And the kid with a glowing fist. The war for New York is here.
Electra. Sigourney Weaver?
So get your shit together.
Stick.
Hey!
The more connections you have, the easier it will be to break you.
You look like an idiot.
It's your scarf.
Oh,
Huh.
again with the hallway fight scenes.
Did you see Electra back there in red?
I saw that.
No.
What are you talking about? Bulletproof. Blind
Yeah.
ninja. Whatever it is you are.
Classy.
Okay, "Come As You Are" by Nirvana being used. That's awesome. I love that song. But okay, so let's go over a few things in this trailer. So here we are at the beginning with Jessica Jones, in handcuffs.
Which she obviously has to kind of want to be there because I'm pretty sure she could have snapped those things.
Well, she did. She did in the
Right.
her show.
Yeah.
She did that. To kind of prove that she broke that, bent a chair into and everything to try and prove she was dangerous, and then in all honesty, she's there because of someone dying, and I'm wondering who it is. I hope it's not that one guy that she was friends with. The heroin addict at the beginning of her series that cleaned his act up later on. I forget his name. But he actually blamed Jessica for a lot of the things, and eventually he came to accept that it wasn't her that caused these things.
Didn't he get killed because his sister came around and she couldn't find him?
No. That's the brother. I'm talking about the guy who was the heroin. No, he was mentally challenged. He was slow. He was slow, and he actually had feelings for Jessica.
Right.
And when Kilgrave found out, Kilgrave
Right.
did what he did. And no, but the guy I'm talking about was Jessica's neighbor, she often found passed out, and she had to help him back to his house, or to his apartment rather.
Yeah, it seems like I recall. It's been a while since I've.
Yeah,
only thing I watched through it once.
But I wonder if that's him, if it's him who's died. I'm not sure. But
it doesn't really give any indication. She just says her only lead. So
yeah, she was trying to help him, so she must have known him to some degree.
Well, I mean,
but Misty Knight, she was actually one of my favorite parts of Luke Cage. But here we are, the meeting of Matt Murdock and Jessica Jones.
he kind of looks like Bilbo Baggins right there.
He kind of does, hands together, hunched over, just like
that little grin on his face.
Hello there, I'm going on an adventure.
He's definitely channeling Martin Freeman right there.
Exactly. I'm going on an adventure, there and back again. Maybe I'll face a dragon, maybe an Iron Fist.
Yeah. Well, who's kind of part dragon?
Well, it's true. That is true. Because he had to go into the dragon's cave and take in its essence.
Taking in dragon essence. Yeah.
Well, you did that in Skyrim all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So okay, Luke Cage back in town after the outcome of what happened in his series, which and also Claire Temple back once again. Played by Rosario Dawson. She's been in every series, and I love it. I love the fact that she's been in every series. She's the connecting force between all of them.
She's Master Splinter.
Pretty much. And okay, if you didn't know this, at the end of the Luke Cage series, her and Luke kind of had a thing, but they didn't copulate the relationship. It was leading to that, but then shit went down, and Luke had to leave, and Luke had to be taken to prison.
I hate when that happens.
Don't you always? I mean, honestly, about to get that former ex-wife again, and all of a sudden, woo! Sorry, you're under arrest. The IRS
IRS
wants you in jail right
Yep.
now. And you're just like, ugh, will you wait for me? No. All right. That's why you're a former ex-wife. Oh, okay. So here we are with Danny. Let's see. That's Danny and Colleen. So Danny and Colleen at a studio. It looks like her former studio. It's just been dismantled.
Well, but see, they're in her martial arts dojo afterwards talking to Luke Cage. So this looks like some other place because it's clearly.
Well, this is the meeting. This is the meeting of them, and I think what it is that Claire and them came here for to meet up with Danny and Colleen, but something happens, like maybe someone's there trying to ransack the place or rob the place, and the person that Danny's chasing right there has a gas mask on.
Right.
Don't know why.
Yeah,
but Danny chases him.
Yeah, I don't think it's Colleen's building because it's brick, and there were some like heavy duty double doors that guy was running to.
That's true.
Because in the next scene, he's talking about when he tells him he's the Iron Fist. They're obviously in Colleen's dojo
and the clashing of the Bulletproof Man and the Iron
cool.
Fist. Now that right there, that you see, it's been a while since Luke's been hurt by like physical punches,
right?
Because not even Jessica could really hurt him. They fought and everything, but she could never really like fully hurt him. And with that, I mean, honestly, I think with the Iron Fist, Danny's able to actually hurt him. He's actually able to feel it. Get that human sensation again of feeling pain. But he also has his healing factor,
right?
Of course.
What?
Yeah, and here they are back. Okay, this is Colleen's studio. So I think what happens
now
is
the other
that,
one was obviously some kind of training area because there were like weapon racks and swords all over the place.
Yeah, so I think what happens is that the meeting where they fight, I think Luke's taken by surprise by the Iron Fist because he's not aware of what it can do, and he's knocked to the side, and Danny then gives chase after the guy again, and Luke's wondering what the hell was that, and then of course Claire, being who she is, makes the introductions. They see each other again, and they're immediately at odds with each other, because plot. And and then Claire says, "You're on the same side," and so yeah. The Devil of Hell's Kitchen and the outfit. I love the Billy Club that he got near the end of the second season, which is absolutely. I actually love the little quip with him and Elektra. He's like showing it off, like spinning it around, uses it to knock stuff down, and then Elektra goes, "Where's mine?"
Yeah.
just like, well, aren't you presumptuous,
yeah.
you red devil? Jeez. But so Jessica's interrogating someone there, and here's Luke in Seagate. My bad. Breaking the cuffs. So, honestly, I'm excited for this.
Of course, Elektra's back.
Elektra is back. So, let's actually head...
So nice of those evil ninjas to give her some nice red eyeliner.
Yeah. And Sigourney Weaver. Did
and
not
Stick.
expect her. And Stick. Probably your...
I'm super excited for Stick.
Scott Glenn does great work as Stick.
He's just a grumpy old dude with a samurai sword. I mean, that's
What's
really
not to love?
that's really all I want to be when I grow up.
I could actually see you doing that. You're just. I was gonna
like-
say, will you be blind or will you just be angsty?
I mean, I'm kind of already blind and angsty, but
Oh yeah, you're wearing contacts.
he's like Clint Eastwood's character from Gran Torino, but with a samurai sword. Like
He's a warrior monk
Yeah.
instead of a grizzled Korean war veteran.
Yeah.
I used to stack pieces of shit, waist high when I was in Korea. And Scott Glenn comes in and she's like, I just cut him in half. I just cut him in half with my katana. But let's see. Oh yeah, the defenders side by side. So once again, a hallway fight scene, and there's Elektra.
so Elektra's got more of
kind of like a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, she's
Like-
well. I mean, they're trying to. I think they're going more for her, like kind of transitioning to her comic classic outfit a little bit.
I could see that.
But the thing is, though, she totally just like punches Matt through the wall. But
Yeah.
then
But
later,
then later on, I think right here they're fighting.
Mhm.
I don't know if something happens like they actually start working together
Right.
later.
well,
But
as we're going, they're obviously all fighting in there.
yeah,
Is she coming up to like lambast them from behind because they're not paying attention? They're fighting all these guys, and then she starts taking them out one by one.
maybe, I don't know.
But Elektra would have to have some kind of mystic something going on, because you can't just like fist fight Luke Cage. I mean,
Well, okay. Well, here's
well,
the
you could, you just lose.
Well, here's the thing about her size, her weapons.
Mhm.
If I believe in one version of the comic, they're made of vibranium. They're made of vibranium, and thus they're pretty much able to
Right.
they're pretty much able to penetrate almost anything, including Luke Cage's bulletproof skin to some
Okay.
degree. From what I understand, because that's the one thing. It's force force versus density, and Luke Cage's skin density, if it's not able to take the force of something that is actually harder than his skin, boom. I mean, that's the thing about it. It's just like they're like, okay, they found something that actually would penetrate Luke's skin. It was actually a special kind of bullet. It was actually a drilling bullet that actually had from, well, they didn't come out and say what it was, but it was something from a meteorite. So according to that, it could either be adamantium or vibranium.
Sure.
So I take it that if she has vibranium size, then she'll be able to handle Luke Cage, because she's a ninja the caliber of Daredevil. It's just she's not afraid to kill.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I want? Like, you know that dinner meeting scene? After the whole thing's over and said and done with, like the Punisher just busts in and he's just like, am I late? Friggin' John Bernthal. Actually, no, he needs to burst in and just be like, am I late?
I would like that, but I don't foresee any of the characters liking it, because he wouldn't be on good terms with really any of them.
Actually, I think him and Jessica Jones would get along all right. Because,
Well, they would, yeah.
Yeah, because he's brooding, she's brooding.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like his MO is, we have to kill the bad guys so they won't be hurting anyone ever again.
I think
pretty much everyone else except, well, Jessica. I mean,
Jessica's more close to that mentality because she actually did in Kilgrave.
Well, I mean, but he was
Spoilers, by the
so
way.
super dangerous. I mean, you know,
Of course.
what do you do?
But I think she's less afraid to kill
Sure.
because of what Kilgrave exposed her to, with her doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think she'd be more apt to do it. I think her and Daredevil would actually, or not her and the Punisher would actually get more along than Punisher would with everyone else. Yeah, that's my thinking.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, let's get this off the screen here.
I do say I am excited for this, because whatever the shortcomings that anyone has with them, this does look pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's still small enough to where I don't think they'll have trouble like balancing out any of the characters. But also with more characters, I don't think they'll have to waste time trying to do unnecessary little character
Subplots.
studies and subplots. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that too. I think one thing that they really want, that I hear Charlie Cox, he talked upon this. He said one thing they really wanted more than anything were the interactions, because the clashing of styles and everything. It makes for great dry humor and great dialogue. That's just like Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Those two right there. You have straight as an arrow Matt Murdock versus the more morally gray Jessica Jones. And she's a smart ass. He's a bit of a smart ass, but more along the lines of the legal route, whereas she's just pure street smart. She's almost pure street smarts, but Matt knows the law. He knows the streets as well, but not as well as Jessica. And Luke and Danny, they're pretty much polar opposites. Danny, rich upper class upbringing, and had his family taken away from him and all this and all that. And Luke, born into a poor family, poor lower class, with his father and family surrounding him, and all this and all that throughout his life until he got old enough to where he actually got blamed with a crime and went to prison. And you see, it's the clashing of styles that makes for great dialogue and humor and everything. And I can't wait to see what comes out of this. I can't wait because it's just like the dialogue in Civil War. The dialogue in Civil War is some of the best because it's just you're familiar with these characters and you know these characters and you know some of the stuff they're going to say, but yet you want to see what new stuff they're going to bust out against the clashing styles. And I think that's going to be awesome whenever this comes out. Hopefully. I have high hopes, but I was going to say Batman v Superman's trailer looked awesome, and we all know how that turned out.
Well, the first couple did, and then they revealed Doomsday, and then
that one. Yeah, well, yeah, that trailer kind of as Ben and I said, if they would have just cut to black right there and you'd have heard like a roar and not seen it, the trailer would have been awesome. But no, they had to do the friggin' mutated thumb of a monster by the name of Doomsday, and there we go. Ugh. And watch the comment section just erupt saying, "Oh, shut up, Marvel fanboys! You don't know what you're talking about." I predicted it. I guarantee you that's what it's gonna be. I guarantee it.
Someone sent me a thing on Instagram. I have to show you, but it's Morpheus, and he's like, "What if I told you that you can be a fan of both Marvel and Doomsday?" And then it was Doctor Strange going, "Teach me."
Oh man,
it's pretty entertaining.
Well, I am a fan of both. I like truth is I like the heroes better in Marvel, and I like the villains better in DC. I mean, DC has the best villains. I mean, think about it. I mean, Joker, Lex Luthor. I mean, those two alone are like two of the biggest of all time. They're two of the most memorable. Name me a top tier villain from Marvel that has been represented very well in the movies, other than Loki.
Well, here recently, Wilson Fisk and Daredevil on Netflix.
Well, yeah, that's...
honestly, Michael Clark Duncan was fantastic as the Kingpin.
I thought so, too.
He was one of the better parts of that movie.
But nobody counts that because everything got retconned.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man villains, I mean, they're pretty big. I mean, Venom is a fan favorite and Green Goblin.
But not represented very well in movies.
Oh, no. Magneto, does he count?
Yeah, Magneto did well. Plus, that's in the Marvel. That's in the Marvel universe. Albeit it's in the Fox Marvel universe.
Well, I was seeing comics, but yeah.
Oh, in comics as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Well, it's
point proven. It's hard.
Well, versus DC, which has just a whole litany of just. You look at they did like a top villains list. I think like 80% of it were DC villains. DC villains, and also there were ones from Vertigo. There was also ones from Dark Horse, and well deserved. But all right, we've rambled on enough. This video has gone on for almost 30 minutes, so we're going to end it here. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you later, everyone. Peace out.